Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It's the 22nd day of July 2022, 7/22/22. I hope that this Friday finds you safe and healthy. I hope that the needs of you and your family today, in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health, are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and those who are the first responders who every day are risking their lives to save lives. And those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and parks, parkways clean. And those that make deliveries for our convenience. And double blessings on the men and women who are out here trying to deliver the children, the teenagers, and the young children from the clutches of child molestation and pedophilia. And those that are trying to rescue, help, and deliver the victims of pornography, child pornography, the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, the victims of sex trafficking and human slavery, and double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and the profiteers who are out here trafficking in human misery. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, and we are now going into or are already in a recession, so the numbers are going to get worse. And millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom, and if you could do anything to help, do it. Yesterday, some goobers out in Utah, I say goobers because they was country bumpkins, don't know what they talking about, was running their mouth about the Donovan Mitchell trade being a done deal and that Utah got a haul. And I can't say who it is or what my source is, but I know it's done. Brethren, in Knicks Nation, we all are feeling a little anxious, aren't we? We want to get this deal done and over. We're tired of hearing the speculation. This is different from the past in that the Knicks are a different organization right now. Some of y'all don't understand that because you ain't been around long enough to really consciously have seen how front offices in the past have worked for the Knicks. But we got a really good one right now. Compared to history, I know in my 50 years of being a Knicks fan, I ain't seen it on this level as far as competence, front office competence. We really have a really good front office. And so they've been laying groundwork that most people, well, definitely in the media, don't understand, for a couple of years since Leon Rose came on board. They've been making plans to be in a position to pounce in such a situation as this. And so yesterday, when they come out with these reports about the deal being done, it's going to be announced tomorrow, which is today or whatever, let's remember some things. I admonish y'all. There are three guys. When they report something, it's facts. That's Ian Begley of SNY. That's Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams. Those are the only guys that when they report something, everybody else follows from them. They not only do they report it, they get the details, they get everything you want in terms of any transaction going on in the NBA. These are the insiders. These are the people that only report what is facts. They don't report speculation. Ian will tell you, I don't know, I haven't heard, but people with sources will say this, and his sources in the Knicks organization is tight. So when these goobers out there in Utah talk this mess, I looked at those three guys first, and I ain't see anything. And when you don't see anything, there isn't anything. Now, I'm not saying that the Knicks in Utah are not trying to work out a deal. I believe they are. I believe Danny Ainge ain't got nowhere to go. And it's interesting what them goobers were saying, after they thought the deal was done. Well, we thought it was going to happen all along. And it's funny because I was looking at Utah Jazz radio before that because I've been following it, and they was like, well, we don't want RJ Barrett, and Donovan's probably going to stay. And then yesterday it changed to, well, Donovan really wants to go to New York, is what he's always wanted. See, it goes with whatever the current minute is telling them. There's no long range thought in that world. There's no contemplation, none. And there's definitely no real analysis going on. Okay, so Knicks Nation, We in New York. Lots of times my wife and I will run up on somebody that might be a rip-off artist, a car dealer, furniture dealer, whatever. And once in a while, we'll say, we from New York, man. What you trying to pull, And so that's what I'm saying to y'all. We from New York. All right. We done seen everything. So you ain't going to show us something we ain't seen already. Okay. And with what we know about these three dudes, if it's not with them, it's not. Okay. Now, Ian put out I mentioned it yesterday video, a really good article that told us to the dollar. Remember, I was talking about 26 million they need to send over. Well, as it turns out, the Knicks need to send over 24 million. Okay. They need to send over 24.2 million to be exact. And I was telling y'all then, and I'm telling y'all now, Evan Fournier has to be in the deal because of his 18 million. Some of y'all trying to put D Rose in there. That could happen if it's a 3-team trade, or if the Knicks are sending 3 young players other than D Rose, which I don't happen to believe they're going to do. And of all the deals that Ian laid out, and he laid out deals with Rose, he laid out deals with Fournier, he laid out deals with Toppin. And let me repeat what we talked about already. Toppin's off the table. Okay, he's not going anywhere. A lot of y'all don't want to believe that, but he's not going anywhere. Some of y'all can understand what I'm saying. I've been explaining it as nauseam. He was picked by Leon Rose. Did you see him in the highlights with Jalen Brunson? Leon Rose loves him. It was jumping up and down when they drafted him. They drafted him to be the starting power forward. They signed Julius Randle after his All-NBA season for approximately half of what he was eligible for. Now, why was that? He could have got 200 million coming off an All-NBA season. That's what he was eligible for. But he got 106. Some say 117, but that's with incentives that he may not reach. He got 106. That's a deal that could be moved. Because the reason is because he was not and never was a number one option. See, you give a Kawhi Leonard 200 million because he could carry you to the finals. I mean, he done it. You understand? You give him 200 million because he's capable of doing that. You might give a Jokic 200 million, 2-time MVP. But you're not giving somebody like a second or third option 200 million unless you're wasting your money. The Don ain't wasting no money. He's not taking no shorts. That's why he signed him to 106 million, because he could be moved and because he's a second or third option. Now, as a second or third option, seriously, I would not mind having Julius Randle on my team as a second or third option, as long as he's buying in. Because as a second or third option, a couple of things happen. You see, when you're trying to make a number one option, right? And he's an MVP caliber. Like, let's take Kawhi Leonard. He's kind of like the poster child to me because he's that dude. Because Kawhi, when he's healthy, you put him with some dudes and he carried you to the finals. Or, prime LeBron. You take prime LeBron and you give him a couple of dudes and you go into the finals. There's no question. As soon as he came, the year before he came to the Cavaliers as an 18-year-old, they were last in the Eastern Conference. And when he comes there, they're playoffs. The next year, they're deep in the playoffs. And like within this third or fourth year, they were going to the finals. That type of dude. Like a Luka Doncic, get you to the Western Conference Finals type of dude. Those guys are $200 million guys. When you get guys like that, that's what you build around. That's called you build around that. You do not just build around anybody. Another, very faithful Knicks fan said, why don't we build around Cam Reddish? Like, I like Cam. Cam got a lot of talent. But you don't build around Cam. He's not that dude. And I'm not saying that as a negative. There ain't that many of them dudes. How many Luka Doncic's are there? How many Kawhi Leonard's? How many LeBron Jameses are there out there? These are generational talents. You get one of these guys and you're thinking finals. We don't have that. So we got to build with what we have. And then, because it's fine, you can't plan a generational talent to just come to you. Like, Milwaukee Bucks chose a 19-year-old kid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he was late lottery. If he was lottery at all, he was late lottery. and he developed into a 2-time MVP, multiple time Defense Player of the Year, and an NBA champion. You got to be fortunate to get somebody like that. And I saw a video where Usai Ujiri, he saw it, and he was trying desperately to trade up to get Giannis and couldn't get him. He was calling everybody, trying to get Giannis because he saw the potential. He saw the future with him. So you got to have a guy like that can see the development of the future. Unfortunately, in Knicks Nation, many of y'all don't see it. You can't see development till tomorrow. You can't see it. Okay. I was telling you about RJ Barrett 3 years ago, and some of y'all just catching up right now. And I'm telling you now, he's going to be better than Jimmy Butler. Okay. So I'm trying to tell you, some of y'all still can't see it because you can't see development coming. Well, Masai saw it. Not many did with Giannis. But you don't get a guy like that every day. You can't just say we just gonna go out and get him. That don't happen. Okay? That don't happen. This particular draft that we was just in, there was a couple of guys that has that potential. The Jaden Ivies, the Benedict Mathurin's, the Keaton Murray's, apparently, that have that potential to become that type of dude. But sometimes it's hard. You gotta really see it going forward. The Knicks do not have that. We got RJ Barrett, who really is stepping up his game. I can't tell you what he's going to be a number one or not because he's still developing. Okay, he's still developing. Some people will sit here and tell you what he'll never be. Those are guys with no vision that are very short-sighted. We have too many of them in Knicks Nation. Very short-sighted people. And of course, the media is always short-sighted. Always, especially when it comes to the Knicks. By the way, I, for one, am very happy they cut the media off at the introduction of Jalen Brunson. And the media crying. When you hear, everybody crying. I ain't hear Bagley cry though. But the rest of them just whining and crying. And why are the Knicks doing this? This is a Knicks thing to do. And that's disgusting. I was like, what the hell? That is exactly why they shouldn't allow your as a Knick. They'd have been asking questions about Donovan Mitchell all up and down. And why waste the time? This is Jalen Brunson's day. So I am very happy. Somebody said, I forgot which one of these fools out here on one of these platforms that is too big for them to really have somebody overpaying them because they don't know what they're talking about. I can't remember who it is, but they was talking about, this is why this is an issue that the Knicks didn't allow the press in it. Nah, I told y'all, the Don needs the inner sanctum of quietness to do his work. We should let him do his work. Some of y'all still whining about me calling him the Don. Go to another channel, please. Seriously. Bro, 2 years ago, in one weekend, he turned Ed Davis into 2 second-round picks in 48 hours. And he's been doing stuff like that all along. Some of y'all was whining because he chose Kai Jones, not understanding the whole plan was to never have Kai Jones, but to end up with Quentin Grimes and an extra first-round pick. Y'all couldn't see that. The thing is that a lot of times when a guy is really sharp and intelligent and he's not saying nothing, just doing his business, the people that are not as sharp, as intelligent as him start to act like he's not so sharp and intelligent, and they show their lack of intelligence. And then later on, when the fruit of what he's doing is out, like he got that pick from Kai Jones. He had an extra pick. He sent one with Kevin Knox to get Cam Reddish. Now Cam Reddish is either A, going to be in the Knicks rotation this year and get a chance to show out, or B, if there's a Donovan Mitchell trade to be had, will help us get Donovan Mitchell. In either case, it was worth the first round pick to get him. That is long-term, long-range thinking for a guy that's trying to build a long-term, sustainable winner. And those of us that's been around a minute, like I said, we've seen several of the front offices that the Knicks have had over the last 50 years, man. Shoot. We've had some real winners. I'm just being facetious. My goodness. But what we got now is serious business, bro. Ain't taking no shorts from Danny Ainge or nobody else. His name, you know what they said in what they say? Well, man, Julito, what they say, Julito, in Dwyer, my name is my name. The Don. My name is my name. Period. So he doing his business. So they making a deal. Like I said, Fournier is going to have to be in the deal because I don't believe the Knicks are going to send them more than 2 young players. I'm hoping they don't include Grimes, but they have to include Cam if they're only going to send them 2 young players because Cam has about a $6 million salary. So you have the $18 million that's Evan Fournier and the $6 million that's Cam, and that gets you 24. And then they're going to probably send another young talent. Now, a lot of y'all been putting Deuce in there because you don't want to see IQ. I favor Deuce. I'd rather IQ, but I'm telling you, either one of them cats will go. Now, they could send Grimes. Grimes' salary would work as long as you send in Cam. Okay? But Cam's got to be in the deal, or you got to put 3 young players in there. See? So let's make the math simple. There's 18 million from Fournier. Okay? So you got 24.2 that you got to get. So you got to make up the rest, right? So 18 minus 24 minus 18, 24 minus 18 is 6.2. So you got to come up with 6.2. All right, you'll follow me so far? I'll make this math real easy. So you got 24 million. You subtract Fournier's 18. You got to come up with 6.2 million. Now, how would you do that? Well, you can combine Grimes, IQ, and Deuce, and the 3 of them together will make 6.2. Okay, the 3 of them together will make you probably 6.2, 6.3. You can put Cam in there, and you got 6. You could put Cam in there and the rights to Jokubitis. Because Cam gets you 6. And you maybe could throw in another player somewhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you got to come up with that extra 6. Now, if they're intent on giving Utah 3 young players, which I don't think they are, then you open up other possibilities. You can give them Derrick Rose then because Derrick Rose is 14 and a half. You still got to throw Cam in there to get you to 20. And now you need 4 more. You can put other possibilities in it. You can give them 2 more young players. I don't think the Don's going to do that. I mean, I don't think he would. I don't think he's going to give them 3, young pieces. I think he's going to give them 2 young pieces because you got to give them a ton of draft capital. And I'm talking about 5 or 6 number ones. So he's probably got to do that. But, he's going to give between 3 and 5 number ones. I don't even know if they're unprotected or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't, but I'm just saying. He's going to get the deal done on the draft board side because we got the capital. But as far as young talent, he don't need to give up a whole lot of young talent. It's the draft capital that they're looking for. So you got to make the money work. So that's why Fournier, I'm telling you, has got to go. Now, Ainge may push for Rose because he's expiring, whereas Fournier's 2 years, 36 million left on his deal. He got 2 years left. After this year, he'll have 1 year left. But the Don wants to get long-term contract off his books. So this is going to be where they're negotiating. But I'm thinking it's going to be Fournier, and then to make the money work, Cam. And then if they want a young piece, 1 young piece. Now, we all know now, even in Utah, they're talking about Grimes. I'm hoping we keep Grimes, especially if we give up Cam, because like I said, Cam is a wing and Grimes is a wing. You giving up 2 young wings? I don't know. I would give up a young wing and a young point guard, which is why I keep telling y'all it really comes down to IQ and Deuce. Okay? And so that's what it comes down to. I think the Knicks already knew what they had in Grimes coming out of last season. And they already knew what they had in Emmanuel Quickley. I think they were looking at the Summer League at Deuce real close. I think they were looking at him real close because, they got to decide what they're going to do. They're going to send him to Utah, or they're going to send IQ to Utah and keep Deuce. I don't know. So, and I'm telling you, I don't know. Y'all got opinions, fine. But I'm saying we don't know until it happens. But I do know Fournier's deal along with Cam have to be included to make it work unless they're going to send them 3 young players. And like I told y'all, I don't think the Don is sending them 3 young players. It's the draft picks Ainge wants. So why are you sending them all your young talent if he wants the draft picks? And you got 8 draft picks. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So he's going to send them Fournier, Cam, and the young talent. And that talent could be Grimes, it could be Deuce, it could be IQ. I personally don't think it would be Grimes, even though they want Grimes. They're going to have to get somebody else because we need a wing. You're giving them a wing in Cam. So you got to have another wing that you develop that's yours, and that's Grimes. So we'll see what happens. So that's why, But again, I'm sticking with the same thing. And Ian put that out there as well. So I put it out before Ian did. No, I'm just saying I put it out before Ian did. Some of y'all know, and then Ian followed up and basically confirmed what I was already saying. Okay, so that's that. When you see Ian Begley, Adrian Wojnarowski, or Shams announce something, it's done. Unless like Bill Pito comes and announces it off MSG, that's of course that's coming straight from the horse's mouth, right? Because he's MSG. But he wouldn't. It would be Ian, it'd be Woj, or it'd be Shams. Some goober in Utah or some knucklehead on ESPN. I mean, let somebody that's from Kansas believe them. You know what I'm saying? Not from New York. No, we from New York. Y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Shalom.